Oh, hello! Welcome back to my Minecraft Let's Play, and this is totally not my second time making this video. I've made some progress on villager trading in between episodes, and in the process of that, I've built a bridge and also gotten some crops started. What I haven't done, however, is gotten any animal farms started, and I don't want to condemn any of the animals we get to nothing but wooden fences for the rest of their lives. So today, we're gonna build their future homes, you know, barns and stuff. First up, a chicken coop. So, I've searched up some reference images on Pinterest, you know, just to give me some idea of where I want this build to go, and they should be on the screen right now, and they will also be linked down in the description. Now, based on the reference images, I think that I want our block palette for the chicken coop to be birch logs, birch fences, some type of leaves or moss or, you know, planty stuff. We're also gonna want cobblestone and that weird dirt that doesn't actually ever turn into grass. We're gonna want some of that for a path. And then we're gonna want the inner floors to be some combination of planks and hay bales. The hay bales are going to be a bit tricky because, you know, they take 9 wheat to make, and I only have 21 wheat. That's less than 3 hay bales right now. So I'm gonna be farming up hay for a while to do that. I want to figure out some way to make nests sort of inside because, you know, chickens need nests. That's kind of how chickens work. And then I think we're gonna have barrels kind of lining the outside of it, sort of, in a way. I'm not too sure on that yet, and I'm not sure what I want the main walls to be made out of either. They might just end up all being birch logs, which, I feel like that'd be kind of a lot of birch. I don't know yet. We'll see. Ignoring the fact that I don't know what I want the walls to look like quite yet, we are going to get started putting up the boundaries, sort of the chicken coop's dimensions. We now have the boundaries of the main building established. But if we take another look at my reference pictures, they all have some sort of fenced off 3-season porch-esque area. So, here's the outline for that as well. Now, obviously, if you look at the reference pictures again, you can see that the fenced off area tends to be a bit shorter than the main building, but I think that's mostly due to the roof, or roofs, or whatever you call it, that the buildings have. So this height should, in theory, be fine. Before we get to work on anything regarding the roof, however, I want to lay out the path that I was talking about. So, I'm planning on having the entrance be these 2 blocks here, and I'll probably make the entrance be a bunch of, fence gates going up. We'll see how that turns out, though. And so I want the path to be, something like this, I suppose. Obviously, I'm not gonna stick with just path blocks. Probably gonna use a couple of them, actually, though. So I'm gonna grab some cobblestone and craft up some coarse dirt and texture this up a bit. So, with the help of these reference photos, this is the path that I have made. Obviously, I've extended it further up than just, here. I want to have, a network of paths through the fields of crops that I'm planning to have up here, you know, connecting the different farm buildings, and then obviously we're gonna want some more path work over there eventually, yada yada yada. But for now, I keep taking so much fall damage, and for what? This is just what we're gonna start with. So, with all this figured out, well, obviously, we've got to connect these fences up, we've got to get enough hay bales for the floor and everything, but we also kinda need walls. So, I'm going to hop on over to our creative world and just start placing blocks to try and figure out what I think would look good here. So that is probably going to take me a hot minute, but I will see you guys in a hot minute. It did, in fact, take me a while, but I have come up with both what I want to use for the walls, which is a combination of birch logs and fences, and what I want to use for the roof, which is cut stone bricks. So, let's finish this build up! So, that took me an hour. Like, this is the result of an hour's worth of work, which feels a teensy bit pathetic. I know that the whole building seems a bit lopsided to over here right now, and I'm hoping that once this tree grows, it'll fix that a little bit. If it doesn't, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Then the inside here, I guess the hay to planks ratio could be a little bit better, and then like bringing in the coarse dirt a little bit to here so it isn't like quite so harsh of a line. But once again, that will happen later, because right now I am sick and tired of chicken coops. So we're moving on. Next up, some stables. So, basing our stable on these reference images, I've decided that I want to build the stable into that hill right there. It's close enough that we can like connect it up to the paths. It's relatively close to our little cave abode over there. And it's not too far from the village where we're currently keeping our horse either, so it's not like transitioning them over will be too hard. And then for an entrance to it, so that it's not just a cave, I want to use some bricks and fences, you know how it is in the reference images. And I'll get some glow lichen, I think, to put on the exterior, you know, in place of vines, because we do not have any vines, and I don't want to overuse leaves. I don't know. Is it possible to overuse leaves? I don't want to find out. Anyways, the interior will be wooden planks for the most part. I might use like bricks for the flooring, like stone bricks for the flooring. I'm not entirely sure yet. And then I'll make a watering and feeding trough out of trap doors, probably. Before all that, though, we need to actually, you know, dig out the area. So here is the size of the stable. The wooden planks are going to be put into the walls, so it'll stay the size. It won't become one smaller. And I don't think I'm going to change the shape too much. It'll just be square. Like, I kind of want to make it a little bit arched, but at the same time, I really don't. So I think we're just going to leave it like this. Before I do anything with the interior, however, I want to figure out the entrance. I think I'll use spruce fences, and then I'll have to craft up some bricks because I don't think I have any right now. But once I do that, I'll fill in the entrance and then we'll worry about making this look natural and all that fun stuff. I was right, I did in fact need to craft up more bricks, but I got it done, and here is the entrance of the stable for now. Obviously, like I said earlier, we're gonna have to, like, transition between this a bit better. I'm probably gonna want some lanterns for in here, because it's kind of dark, and then I think I'm gonna use oak wood for the interior, just because it's a bit lighter, and I don't want it to be too dark. I did put an arch here. I've decided I don't want an arch in here, but, like, I put an arch here. So, I would say we're gonna work on making this look more natural, but I have no ideas on how I want to do that quite yet, so instead we're gonna switch over to the interior. So, there were some technical difficulties, and, I went to edit the clips I had recorded, and, my microphone wasn't connected to OBS, so there was just no voiceover at all in any of the clips. So, having said that, we're done with the stables. I've got this path here set up. I think this is, like, the general path I'm gonna be using for, like, I've completely forgotten the word, but, like, the outside of the village, and then once we revamp the village, the paths in there will be more, like, paved, or whatever you want to call it. And then, if we take a look at the actual stable, I tried to, like, make it so that it's sort of a bit more natural. I don't know how well I succeeded. Here's the interior, you know, put some stairs around so that's not just a box. We've got a little lantern thingamajiggy. Then we've got a feeding trough and a water trough. And, I've decided that we're gonna name our little horsey here Neo. So, for context, I like Clone Wars. The Clone Wars. Specifically, the clones in the Clone Wars. I may or may not read a bunch of Star Wars fan fiction, but, basically, there's a clone commander named Neo. And you know what the sound that horses make? Neigh? So, you know, it's neigh. Oh, I think that I'm hilarious. Anyways, now that we're done with the stables, it's time to move on. And we're now gonna build a barn for our cows and sheep. Originally, I was going to put our cows and our sheep in 2 separate buildings, but I just don't want to now, so we're not gonna. And speaking of things that we're not gonna do is have any reference photos, because I couldn't really find any that, like, I was like, oh yeah, I want to imitate, like, this part of it, or this part of it, or whatever. So, building this little structure is probably going to be very interesting. Potential difficulties aside, we're going to start by laying out the size of the building and the field that is going to be attached. And we're probably going to put this so that the building is, like, here-ish. And then the field can kind of extend out over here a little bit, and then I'll just kind of cover that. Oh, that is fully a skeleton. Anyways, and then I'll just cover that up, but I'm gonna lay out the exact markers now. So, in the process of, getting ready to, you know, mark out the things, those guys showed up. I've killed a couple of them, and then I almost died, and this is honestly kind of pathetic, but, there's still 2 left. So, this might take me longer than I strictly want to admit. The pillagers are killed, and I have laid out the markers. And so here is where I'm thinking of putting the entrance, and then the walls are gonna go around like this, with a exit to the field here, and the field is gonna be between these. So, now that we have the, you know, place, sizes, layout, whatever you want to call it, figured out, We need a block palette, and we don't have a reference image, which makes that slightly harder. So I think I want to go with stuff that's, like, easy to get. We could do oak. I think, I might have to think about this a second. Oh, geez. I did, in fact, need to think about it a second, but I've decided on stripped oak logs for the walls and cut stone slabs for the roof. And then we'll go from there and see if I want to add, like, details or something. We'll see. As far as how much of each we will need, I'm planning on making the barn 4 blocks tall, and the perimeter of the barn to be is 34. 34 times 4 is 136, which divided by 64 is 2.125. And 0.125 of 64 is 8, so we'll need 2 stacks plus 8 oak logs. And then, you know, we'll strip them so that they're stripped oak logs instead of just oak logs. And then we'll go from there. I don't want to do the math on the stone slabs just yet. And then we'll need to make fences and stuff and yada yada yada, but I need to get chopping down some trees. Chop down trees I have. So, as you can see, I have just enough of the logs, plus 1. So I'm going to start building this up, and hopefully my axe won't break before I've stripped all the logs. Like, it probably will, but, like, we can pretend. Anyways, I'm gonna get placing the blocks. And voila, we now have the walls up. Obviously, I'm gonna end up carving a hole back here so that the sheeps and cows will have access to the field. And now I think that we are going to make the fences for this and set out the field, carve that out, and then I might use oak for the floor as well. I might not, though. We shall see. That's kind of up in the air. I might do something similar like I did in the chicken coop, like a mix of hay and wood, but like I said, we shall see. For now, we are setting up the field, and oh boy, how many fences for this do I need? So, I've made the outline of where the fences are going to go a bit more fleshed out and clear and whatever you want, other adjectives, yada yada yada. And we will need 47 fences to complete the entire perimeter of the field. The recipe for crafting a fence is 4 planks and 2 sticks. So, for 2 fences, we will need 3 oak logs, 2 for the 8 planks, and 1 for the 4 sticks. 47 divided by 2 is 23.5, which times 3 is 70.5, which we will round up to 71, minus 64 is 7, so we'll need 1 stack plus 7 oak logs. Time for me to chop more trees. Okay, so it turns out I did my math wrong because the fence recipe makes 3 fences for every one of the recipe makes 3 fences. So we now have a lot more planks and sticks than we will probably need for a while. They'll come in useful some point, I'm sure. Anyways, I'm going to put down the fence now. And with the fence in, we now just need to carve out a little hole here. This will not be centered, which, wait, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I do that, and then this. Voila. Alright. Now, well, the excess planks are going to come in handy because I want to use gates here for the door. And then we'll put on the roof, I guess. That'll be more math because I don't want to, like, run back and forth between here and our little cave to get enough cut stone slabs, because that would be annoying. Then we're probably gonna put a little window on this wall, I think. I think that could be cute, like using fences for it, I guess. I don't know. We shall see. Oh yeah, I wanted to put nests in the chicken coop. I have no idea how we're gonna do that. I need to go to sleep, and then we'll do math. Evidently, I did not go to bed in time last night. I would kill for a bow right about now. Hey, yeah, come over here, see? Away from my builds. Ah! Okay, we are going towards the chicken coop. This was not a part of the plan. Alright, that could have gone much worse. Oh, I forgot to make fences. Oh well, I will... Alright, let's figure out how many cut slabs we're gonna need. Alright, so I figured out the area of this area in here, which is 51, and then plus the exterior walls, because we're gonna want to put slabs on top of there, is... I did the math. It's 51 plus 34 is 85, and so 85 divided by 2, 42.5, which we will round up to 43, which means that I need to smelt down 43 cobblestone to, whatchamacallit, stone, and then we'll make that cut stone, and then we'll make them to cut stone slabs, and then we'll put the slabs on this roof, and we shall add gates, and then we shall do the floor and get the chickens out and put in a path and do more stuff, yada yada yada. I'm gonna go smelt the stone now. So stone has been smelted and we now have the slabs. However, while I was doing that, I got mildly sidetracked and went on a little exploration expedition to try and find some melons because our farmer villager trades for melons, not pumpkins, and I will never recover from the betrayal. On my little expedition, I found a couple ruined portals, an ice village, some turtles, a bigger village that I forgot to get footage of, and a mushroom forest, at which point I decided to head back towards home because I was like 3,000 blocks away. And on the way back, I found an ocean monument, a bamboo forest, jungle, whatever you call it, which sadly didn't have any melons, which makes me think it wasn't actually a jungle. It was like bamboo forest and jungle are different biomes, I think, which doesn't make sense because they both have jungle trees, but one has melons and the other doesn't, and I'm mildly upset about that. Anyways, the bamboo forest was right next to another mushroom forest. I also found some more turtles, and then I discovered that a cherry forest is literally on the mountain right next to our little cave house. Fun times! So, back to building the barn. This is what our roof looks like right now, and I don't love it. I kind of hate it, actually. So, I've searched up some pictures of Minecraft roofs that are more curved, because that was, believe it or not, what I was going for with this. I just, failed miserably. So, we're gonna try building one of those. as you guys saw, I also took a moment to revamp the chicken coop's roof, and after I finished the time lapse, I led some chickens inside. So, that's there. We're probably not going to get to the nests in this video. In fact, I have no idea how I'd actually do them, so they're probably just not going to happen. But anyways, if we head back towards the barn, you guys can see that I connected the path from the chicken coop up to the barn. I don't want to connect it up to the bridge yet because I'm not entirely sure how I want, like, the fields to be laid out just yet. Speaking of the barn, I also added a little window to this wall here and stuck a lantern inside because it was kind of dark in there. And then I also led some cows into the barn. We don't have any sheep yet, so I'll probably track some down in between episodes. And while we're on the topic of future episodes, next time we'll be building a house for our farmer villager, and getting them a nicer garden and stuff. So subscribe if you want to be notified when that gets posted, or if you like Sims 4 content, because I also post, Sims 4 content. Bye!